blade against just a normal receipt and
Yeah.
just push, it just splits on a molecular level.
Hey.
It's actually pretty sick.
Alright, Savage, I'm sending you the link right now for the.
I'm weak. And what's wrong with that? Sad. How are you feeling right now?
I am. I sent you
Yo, I
the
just
link.
watched a live PD highlight earlier today, and the cop was sitting this girl down. She was super drunk, and he was like, can you tell me what month it?" No, it was the paramedics, and they're like, "Can you tell me what month it is?" And she was like, "She,
The month?
sh
Oh my
Savage,
gosh,
what
dude.
month is it right now?"
Purple. There
What
you
year is
go.
it?
Wrong.
Okay.
What? You're a little retarded.
No, but you're stupid normally, so.
We gotta just make sure, alright?
Okay, Gummy.
What am I gonna change my color to? I need you to join the live stream so you can tell me what to paint this car, because I don't know what color to paint. Yeah. Can you just join the live stream? It doesn't look good purple. I don't know. I sent you a link on YouTube. Come on now. There we go. Click on it.
How do I feel?
Sensational.
Sensational. I feel pretty good. Overall, all things considered.
This is NPR news. Yeah, just watch that stream while you're sleeping. Nah, that's me.
Say something exciting. Um, so once there was once there was a toddler named
Give the toddler like a
Roger.
really good name.
His name was Roger.
Roger? Alright. Nah, 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 nah. Keep it going, keep it going. Roger's good, Roger's good. Turn down my thing, my stream. Turn down my stream. Turn down my stream.
Yeah, so his name was Roger.
Boo.
No. He he grew up in Tallahassee, Florida.
Okay.
All right. And you know what Tallahassee, Florida is named or known
Tallahassee,
for?
Florida. You know what's in Tallahassee, Florida? The Florida man, dude.
See, that's just it. This
The,
kid,
he is the Florida
this
man.
kid grew up in Tallahassee, and
He is the Florida man, dude.
so
That kid is the Florida man.
so this kid grew up in Florida, around all sorts of Florida men, just all around him, people eating people's faces, freaking cruising through the the Costco, drinking wine out of a Pringles can. Um, just typical Florida shenanigans. And Roger told himself, "I'm gonna grow up one day, and I'm gonna get out of this mess."
Did he
Well,
do it
that's
though?
exactly what he did. He
Oh
turned
wow.
18 and he figured the easiest way to get out was to enlist in the military. So he enlisted in the Marine Corps out of Tallahassee, Florida. Tallahassee.
Uh, Is this is like real life? Is this related to real life?
Oh no, no, it'll get scary.
He is
Don't worry.
Roger.
Don't you worry.
Go on, go on, go on.
Um,
All right, yeah, it
Savage,
is.
you're ugly.
There's my car. Look, this is my favorite one right here. This blue one.
Okay. So, Roger, in he enlisted in the Marine Corps. Um, so started off, he went to the recruitment office, talked to a recruiter, enlisted. He got set up with his kind of his course of action. He was going to enlist as a combat engineer was his path of choice initially, but he got in and he went through basic and he found out that he physically qualified anything he wanted to do. So he decided, you know what? I'm gonna go all out. I want to join Marine Recon and
Where is the
do
story
that.
going?
So he spent 7 years in the Marine Corps.
A second ago, he was in
Traveled.
Costco drinking wine out of
He
a Pringles
traveled
can. Now
to.
he's in the Marines.
Um, he spent quite a while in what's the city in Afghanistan, Kabul.
Kabul, yeah.
Um, and then he got stationed after being in Kabul for 4 years. He got stationed in Taiwan for three.
Taiwan. What's in
But while he
Taiwan?
was in Taiwan, he was running recon missions all over Indonesia. Um, highly classified stuff. Anyway, so 7 years,
Ooh.
he he gets out of the military.
Where is this spooky
Um,
story? Like, this is not
honorable
spooky.
discharge, well decorated, great military career. So he retires from the military, um, and he didn't really think far ahead. And he gets out of the military. He realizes he doesn't really have anywhere to go now. Um, so he goes back to Tallahassee
Bankruptcy.
because
Boo.
he has family to stay with in Tallahassee, and that's the only place. So it's just going to be a temporary arrangement. He's staying with his aunt in Tallahassee. Um, she lives in a small house kind of on the edge of the city. Um, this is Roger's aunt.
What's
Um,
his aunt's name? Regina?
no, it's Tina.
Tina. Oh, close enough.
Um,
Does Tina have black
So
or brown
he's
hair?
he's been there for about 4 months. Everything's, I mean, it's Tallahassee. It's pretty boring except for all just the ridiculousness and craziness that comes along with living in Florida. Um,
Dude, where is the story going? Like,
so he's been there for 4 months, and he's had a few opportunities to move out, but everything's kind of fallen through. He only planned on being there for like a month tops while he kind of got settled in and found somewhere else to go. He's planning on moving to Chattanooga because he wanted to pursue an art career. Um,
oh my gosh, dude. Savage.
but
Savage, why
he's
are you telling
been
this whole
trying to work
story?
through the logistics of everything. He had a friend he was going to stay with in Chattanooga, but it ended up they got a job opportunity in Maine, so they flew
Oh
out to
my
Maine
gosh,
and
who
they
lives
ended
in
up
Maine?
moving, and so he couldn't move in with them. So he ends up being at his aunt's house for 4 months, 3 months longer than he originally intended, and everything's pretty normal until they have a neighbor move in.
Okay, you couldn't have got to the
It's a
neighbor a
pretty
little
quiet
faster, dude. Like,
suburb where they live.
Like 20 years
Um,
later, then they had a neighbor
so
move in.
so
Like,
so their neighbor moves in, seemingly normal at first, but
you want to hear a
while
quick,
Roger
a
was
scary
in the
story? Gummy
military, he
storytelling.
picked up some habits. So he drank before he went in, and he had struggled with alcohol over the past months that he had been out of the military. But he also picked up smoking. So every evening he would be out on the front porch smoking, and he preferred to smoke Marlboros, and so he's sitting out on the porch smoking a pack of Marlboros before he goes to bed. And this new neighbor, they've been moving in, they've been kind of coming and going with moving trucks and having friends stop by, drop stuff off, that sort of thing over about a 3 day period. And they finally started to get settled in, and um,
I can hear me snoring. Gummy.
so he sees the neighbor walk out to the
Oh
mailbox,
my gosh.
and I mean, he thought it was a little weird them going out to the mailbox at this time. Um, because at this point it's 12:30 in the morning,
Why is he
and he's
watching him
like,
going to the mailbox at 12:30 in the morning? That's
because
my
he's
question.
outside smoking. Because he
Oh.
picked up smoking while he's in the
Oh yeah,
military.
you said that. Look, it's so many details, okay?
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna give some half-ass story, okay?
Yeah, you
So
could have. It
they
would have
go
been
out
shorter
to
than
the
this.
mailbox, and he just like, okay, it's a little weird that they're going to the mailbox at 12:30. Like, why not just wait until the morning or something? But he doesn't think much of it. He kind of keeps to himself. That's just kind of person he is. And they're walking up the driveway towards the mailbox. They stop at the mailbox, open it up, grab the mail, and they turn and they look at him, and they look him dead in the
Is this
eyes,
the guy that was in Kabul?
and he instantly notices that for whatever reason their eyes are like red, not just like bloodshot. It's like all the blood vessels on the surface of their eye is just inflamed, and it's like their whole eye is bright red. And he's like, what on earth? I've never seen that before. And he's like, okay, that's a bit strange. But they walk back inside, don't say anything. And after they walk inside, he gets up, puts out his cigarette, and walks back in the door to go to bed. And he gets ready for bed, goes through his night routine and everything, lays down in bed. He's thinking about what he saw and what on earth that could be. And he didn't really come to any conclusions and decided just to go to bed, not worry about it. So he goes to bed, wakes up at 5:30 the next morning like he does every morning, and he can't stop thinking about his neighbor with their bright red eyes. And so he decides to Google it. And he Googles it, he searches for a while, comes up with a few different results, but most of them just are coming up with things along the lines of bloodshot eyes, nothing that really seems to match what he's looking for. And then he finds a forum website called medical-oddities.com, and he finds a forum post on it, and the initial question phrases it in a way that it seems to fit very closely with what he witnessed. But as he's looking through the replies, there's a few yes and no and single word replies that are still up, but the majority of the posts after the initial posts have been deleted. And he he's like, that's weird. It doesn't seem like there's any reason for these posts to be deleted. It seemed like a fully fleshed out thread, and then a bunch of it wasn't just one single user that posted and went back and deleted their posts. It was at least a dozen different users that had deleted their posts, and it seemed to only be on this thread. Those users still had posts up on all the various other threads they were active on. And so he finds that very weird, and it's an anonymous forum website, but he notices something about the initial poster's um, name, and the name includes the name of a street not far from where he grew up in Florida. And so he decides to go and investigate a little bit. And the name of the street was Shady Grove Drive. And so he heads over to Shady Grove Drive, and he figures there's not much else he can do other than just start going door to door and kind of trying to find this person. Um, so he just starts at the beginning of the street, starts going door to door. He's not really getting any. Most people either don't come to the door or come to the door and listen to what he has to say and say that they don't know really what he's talking about and can't help him. So he gets about um, 14 houses in, and on the 15th house, he walks up to the front door, and he notices their glass storm door is closed and locked, but their actual wooden door is wide open. And he thought that was a little weird, because you can easily break the glass. It's not a very secure door to keep locked. But as he's looking, he can see down their hallway into their kitchen, and he notices uh, a pair of shoes sticking out from behind the kitchen counter back down the hallway. And he notices these shoes and realizes that it looks like it's on a person's feet, and they're either fallen down behind the counter or something. So he can't get the front storm door open because it's locked, so he decides to go around behind the house. And so he goes around behind the house up to the patio to the sliding glass door that goes into the kitchen. And there's blinds in the way, though, so he can't see. But it turns out that the the sliding glass door is unlocked. So he slides the door open and sees behind the counter that the homeowner has passed out behind the counter or something. They don't seem to be conscious or alert of anything. So he rushes in to see if there's anything he can do to help. He immediately pulls out his phone to call 911 and get an ambulance to come and help. And so as he's kind of looking over, checking, he notices that their chest is rising and falling. So they are breathing, they're alive. And he just happens to open up their eyelids to check their eyes, and sure enough, they have the same bright red eyes uh, that he found on his neighbor. And um, he's sitting there waiting. He since they're breathing and air is coming out of their nose, he could feel it coming out, so he knows their airway isn't blocked or anything, and he did get a pulse, so he knows they're not dying or anything. They should be okay. So he's kind of just waiting there for the paramedics to get there and get their professional opinion and have them check the person out. And so he's sitting there, more relaxed at this point because he's pretty confident everything's probably going to be fine. He is just a little confused by the red eyes and how all this fits together. And as he's sitting there, the the person who was passed out abruptly sits up and jolts awake. And he looks over, they open their eyes and look straight at him with the exact same expression he saw on his neighbor the night before. And they look him in the eyes, and then that was the last anyone ever heard from him, was that 911 call. The paramedics arrived, and there was no one in the house. Um, no sign of anyone. Uh, no sign of anything left behind, any sort of struggle. Nothing, just the back sliding glass door was open, and the the front door was still locked, but now the wooden front door was closed and locked as well. And that's the only sign of any change or anyone leaving or entering or anything left in the house. And the case has been closed and deemed a cold file at this point. Hasn't been any evidence or any new revelations in the case in 8 years. That was in 2011 when all this happened. So that's the story of Roger and his efforts to escape the Tallahassee, Florida craziness. And yeah, that's it.
First off, I want to congratulate you on putting everybody to sleep. I like how we just sat here and listened to this man ramble about nothing, trying to piece together a story. I just sat here and listened to all the. I realized that you left my stream though.
So what did you think of the story, Doug?
Whack. I texted Savage like halfway through. I was like, this story, and I put a GIF. I put whack underneath.
No, Doug, it was a good story.
That was actually trash, dude.
Doug, what was trash about that story?
What was the story even about? At one point, this man was in the Marines in Taiwan. The next moment, he was
That
in
was a
Costco
backstory.
drinking like wine out of Pringles.
No, that was just to set the setting and theme for for Florida.
Let me tell you something right now. Storytelling, not your niche, dude.
Doug, I am an amazing storyteller, okay?
Okay. Who told you that?
Doug, that was a good ass story, and you know
Is this a self-given title? Storytelling.
Doug, okay, you tell a better story just coming up with it sentence by sentence.
Dude, I don't tell stories because I know I can't.
Okay. So you're not qualified to even speak on my storytelling abilities, which
Let me finish this ranked game. It's 5-5. My teammate's calling me trash, but I have 4 of our
Doug,
5
I don't
goals.
care. You can't even tell stories, okay?
Can you tell stories? Shut up.
I don't want to hear about it, Douglasville.
It's alright. Oh, wow, this guy actually just took me all the way around the thing. Let's go, I saved it. Oh my god. And he calls me trash. Lamo, you're actually garbage, kid. Oh, what is he doing? Oh, exactly. I'm trash though, kid. I'm trash though, kid. I'm trash though, kid. I'm trash though, right? I'm trash though, right? Freaking trash. Big L. Yeah, okay, kid. Big L. Very rare rocket boost. Okay. Equip now, thank you. And that's the stream. Let me end it.